We messed up. We accidentally made it shorter.
Narrowed beam.
Yeah.
Super narrow beam.
Go-kart beam.
Hi guys, I'm Sam.
And I'm Nate.
And welcome to our garage, where today we're going to make a wider front beam, or at least we're going to start making a wider front beam from two original beams. It's a little unconventional. People normally don't widen ball joint beams. People have done it, but it's not regularly done. Traditionally, the off-road 11 cars and 9 cars, they do have to run a ball joint beam. They can't widen it, but they take them, they beef them up, they make them a lot stronger, they weld all the seam. We're not going racing. And to get working on this, get these two beams cleaned up. This one is already cleaned up, or at least they pressure washed it and rattle canned it. This beam's from Brazil, so the only thing I'm going to use out of that is the center section here. We'll end up cutting it off at some point out here, and we'll take these guys at some point out here, and we will weld the two together with some sleeves on the inside to make this a wider beam. But it all starts by getting all this stuff cleaned up. Once we're all cleaned up and ready, we'll show you what we're doing, measuring points and stuff, and go on from there. We have got our beam cleaned up, ready to start cutting off our steering box stop, steering damper. Over here I made this diagram back when we did our floor pans. That's how long ago I've been planning this. I verified all these measurements off of the other beam over there. So with all these measurements made, I can start cutting things apart. And I just have to make a plan on how I'm going to do that. My initial plans are I want to keep this intact, at least initially. Eventually we're going to put 2 adjusters in here so that I can use a stock set of leaves over here. I put an adjuster here so we have a stock set of leaves on this side. Cut probably here and here and here and here. And then decide at what point I want to cut these, probably just inside of our bushings here. Then I can measure from here, plus 3 inches to here. Essentially I want to be 3 inches wider out, 3 inches wider out here by using the outside tubes on this section. That all starts by cutting this here and here into 2 pieces, getting this bracket off, this bracket off. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Sound good, Nate?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound good?
Yeah.
Sounds horrible. Nathan doesn't like the idea at all. But what does he know? I'm gonna do stuff. Nathan, what are you doing? You got 2 cars, Nathan?
Yeah.
Nathan bought himself a rusted out 1989 Land Cruiser from a buddy of mine. Now he's got 2 cars.
Yeah, because why not?
That one needs a whole lot of work, but then again, it's not like that one didn't need a whole lot of work when we bought it.
Even more work, actually.
I mean, yeah, except we're gonna have to swap the bodies on that one.
That's true. But that one didn't run or drive. Yeah, I mean, $2,000 more for a running, driving, 4-wheel drive Land Cruiser. Over here, I've got steering box stop is off, steering damper mount is off, and I've got our upper tube marked 1 inch over from our screw. The tubing cutter can't go all the way around, and so at least I have a nice straight scribe mark on the top tube. Now we'll switch over to the Sawzall and cut out this section of this beam. So yeah. I didn't catch any of that, but I'll trust that you know what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out. Like that. I've got our center section donor beam marked 2 inches out from our brackets to here. I've got a measurement from here to here and from here to here, so I know when I weld these tubes and I need to cut these guys down to match this to get to here, to get 3 inches wider than this, I know where I need to cut and do things. So now we can.
Wow, that's a really wide beam.
Super wide beam. That wide. That wide or wider?
Wide.
Wider?
It's like Land Cruiser.
Land Cruiser wide?
That's like stock in there.
Well, I'm guessing probably.
Oh no, let's measure.
I need to be 11 and an eighth, and 11 and an eighth from there to there.
11 and an eighth, right there.
11 and an eighth. So that would give us about 37 and a quarter seam to seam. Hold it on that seam outside. There we go. Thanks for holding it. Nope, 37 and an eighth, but yeah.
Oh, it's not in place.
Yeah.
That is a big beam.
That's a big beam.
So you just need to go.
We're gonna do more cutting. I need to make a measurement from here to here and then cut these guys back so that that's there. So I've got these tubes cut down to basically 9 inches plus the 2 and let's see. Those are cut at 2. These are cut at 9. So when we put that down next to here, that will give us 11 and an eighth, which is basically right on the money for what we're looking for. And I've still got a nice area to to fill our weld in between. Again, I'm just going to slide a sleeve in here and in here, weld that seam, weld it here, weld it here, weld it here, weld it here, some plug welds around the outside diameters, and then that is now 3 inches wider than the 8 it was before. So I got this tube cut. I'm going to finish cutting that side, and I'm waiting to hear back from our friend and neighbor. Greg actually was the organizer for the Nitro Cross races, the 11 cars. If he has some 1 3/4 outside diameter tubing, we're going to run over and grab that, and then we can widen this beam. Assuming maybe he's got some arms too. I don't want to do this without arms in place, because otherwise I'll have to wait till Monday to grab some of those from work. At least we'll be ready with the sleeves cut, ready to weld, but not welded until I have arms in. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to wait. That way we can ensure that our arm out here is in line with our adjuster here. We'll use a set of leaves inserted into the beam to align our arm and our beam. And then when we cut out the center section and weld in our adjusters over here, everything will be good to go. Nathan's working on his Land Cruiser, just cleaning up the wheels and drums. Nathan's going to keep on doing that. Oh, you can see some of the rust right where Nathan's tush is. All that rust right there is not very pretty, and that's how most of the bottom of this truck is. We got tube.
Yeah,
we got beam. We got beam. We got beam. So now what we got to do is see how far I want to stick this inside of here, and then how far I want it to stick out for support. Cut 4 of these pieces to that length, and then this beam can basically be mocked up. So that sounds good. We also went through and cleaned out the inside of our tubes
with our friendly pressure washer.
with our friendly neighborhood
Pressure washer.
some good German bearings on there and in there.
Hopefully somewhat good.
Oh yeah, they're still golden. Yeah. I prefer using the original needle bearings and micarta inner bushings as opposed to swapping out to the urethane sleeves. Urethane's just not good for the street as far as long term. Even off-road, it's only good for a couple of races, and then you got to replace it. If you can get the micarta sleeves, those are actually pretty good when you can find them. I'm gonna start sleeving, cutting, and doing some sort of stuff here, and we'll be back in a bit. Couple sleeves, cut down to about 9 3/4 inches long. Butts up against our bushings in there and gives us plenty of overlap into our beam. Extra strength.
Stronger than it was originally.
Yep. And more weight down low over the front end because, well, Volkswagens are light in the front end. And set that up at 11 3/16 on the money. This is already set. This should be 11 1/8 on the money. And we now have a beam that is 37 3/16 wide, thereabouts. These are different shock towers than the other ones, so that could play into that a little bit. But Nathan, we have a considerably wider beam.
Yep, that is a considerably wider beam. That was a lot easier than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
I was getting all worked up over nothing.
Whoa. So there we go. So that is the end of day 1 on widening a front beam, or basically taking 2 beams and making one 6-inch wider beam with little to no like special equipment needed as far as, you know, cutting off this and making certain you have squaring tubes and whatnots and so forth.
Lots of crazy stuff.
This is something that's actually pretty easy to do at home in your own garage. Obviously, I'm doing it here in ours. So with that, we'll be back later to get the arms on and weld things up before we put in adjuster.
Yeah.
That'll be after we get these ends on and this end on, and then we can cut out the center, 1 tube at a time, and start putting in adjusters so that we can have one set of leaf packs here, another set of leaves there, another set of leaves there, and another set of leaves there. 4 control arm independent suspension.
Yeah.
Which is silly, but that's what we gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's like, yeah, instead of just one leaf, or
one leaf pack.
Yeah, one leaf pack, and then both of them almost tied in, now it's just going to be...
Yeah, well, regardless, they were always acting independently because this divided that side from that side.
True.
1 set of adjusters, 1 adjuster, 1 adjuster. 4 adjusters, 4 leaf packs, 4 control arms, and 1 6-inch wider beam. On that note, we'll see you guys later. All right, a couple days later, we're back at it. Well, I'm back at this. Nathan's still working on his Land Cruiser. He's doing body work on his Land Cruiser hood because that's the only good panel on there. So I've got our leaf packs in. We've got some stock control arms set in place. That ensures that this side of the beam is square to the center side of the beam. And then I will go through and make certain that this here is 11 1/8. We've got 11 1/8 of an inch from here to here. We've got a hole drill here. So now I can fillet this weld and this weld. I should have beveled this side down like I did here, but I didn't. So we're going to have to run with it. The inside sleeve slides inside of these outer tubes very, very tightly. It's actually really tight on both, but I can't rattle that at all. So that's a really snug fit for that 1 3/4 inch tubing. So I'm going to fire up the welder, and then I'll push the leaves through to the other side and set this side up at 11 3/16 because this one was just slightly wider on the left side than it was on the right. And we'll buzz those sides down. What's up, Nathan? Yeah, that needs to be cleaned up. You want to grab the dustpan and clean that up a little bit? In the meantime, I got these guys buzzed in. I'm not the best welder. I can weld, but I'm not the best welder. I'll be the first person to admit that. But these guys, here, we'll take a look. Other than where I started on that vertical surface and finished on that vertical surface, same thing down there and like right here. I'd say those are some decent welds.
Let me see.
So we've got this side done.
Oh yeah, that looks decent enough to the point where it should hold together when we go over a 20-foot jump.
20-foot jumps?
Yeah.
How many feet of air are we going to get?
I don't know.
No, 20 feet long, but like what, 3 feet high?
Yeah.
2 foot high? 3 foot high?
4.
4 feet high. Good Lord, I don't know about all that. He's got high hopes, but hey, aim for the stars. You land on a mountaintop, you're doing all right. I'm going to let this side cool down, and then I will swap everything out to that side and do the same thing over there. And then this beam will be widened, and then we can cut out the center and put some adjusters in. Nathan, sound good? All right, stay hydrated, buddy.
And I'll go look on the language.
All right, what are you working on now?
Sanding.
Sanding the Land Cruiser. Now you're doing body work already, huh?
Yep. It's a little bit quicker when you like don't have to cut the whole car up and like turn it into a block of wood.
You can see some of Nathan's rust issues. Oh, sorry, that's not rust.
No,
that's just expanding foam. This side's not so bad, but the other side doesn't even have this portion of the fender anymore.
It's just the door.
But we've got a new body coming, right?
Yeah. We have to go pick it up.
We have a new body to get. Don't expect a whole lot of Land Cruiser content on jbugs.com. He's going to be working on this a lot while I wrap up a lot of stuff on the Baja bug. We've got the driver's side set, both arms in place with the leaf packs. Everything's squared. We are at 11 3/16. And if I was to do a measurement from here to here, it should come up with about 37 3/16, 3 inches more than the factory measurement on both sides. Now I'm going to buzz this side together. Then this beam will be one piece and widened. But at that point, then we can start going through, marking our beam, cutting out the center section because we're going to weld in 2 adjusters per tube. That way we can have a set of leaf packs for here, there, and there. And we're going to be all leaf sprung, just like stock, on a widened beam. And there we go. 1 6-inch wider beam. And the welds, not too bad if I don't say so myself. Definitely got better on the second pass where I actually had a bigger gap to fill in versus over here. It's not going anywhere. I'm back to work on the 6-inch wider beam. Now it's time to get all of our adjusters and sleeves set up. I've already got 2 adjusters and a sleeve and a collar all welded together, 6 inches wider from center to center. So this one's set up, and then I can cut out our beam and weld that section in place. But before I do this last one, I wanted to explain how these ball joint adjusters are installed. So this is our stock set screw, and as you're looking at this adjuster block, you'll see it actually has 2 threaded collars. This threaded collar, which when installed you won't be able to actually access without spinning this block, that one sits in line or up or down depending on if you want to raise or lower your car. That's going to be the set screw that holds your leaves in place. Like this set screw here is, that's what actually holds the leaves in place inside the beam. That locks into the leaves. This screw here runs with our adjuster block and just sits inside of our collar here and gives us control of this block up and down. And then of course the outer collar is what contains everything. And when it's installed, it looks like this. So again, set screw goes in line here, and our adjuster block screw goes here, and then this is where we would actually set our tension for our ride height. We can see here I've got our sleeve, our collar, and when it's all welded up, it will look like this. So I'm going to get this one all set up to weld up another set like that, and then when I have both of those made, and when that's done, then I can start double checking my measurements on the beam and getting it cut and ready to weld up over here. So again, we've got this threaded sleeve in line with the set screw that is facing down on both sides on the ball joint, opposite 180-degree divot over here. So that collar will go in place. Follow that with our outer shell, put our adjuster block in place, and its screw, 6 inches, check. Lock it in to double check to make certain. Center our sleeve and collar, double check our measurements, and now I'm going to weld her on up. So we've got our sleeve ready to weld in. I've got it at our essentially stock position, and all the adjustment from here is going to be putting tension on the arms or lifting the arms up. So I've scribed that in line. This is our stock setting essentially. I've also scribed in a line here in the center of our stock screw, here and here. I've already gone through and marked out 2 lines on each tube that are going to show us the width where we want our sleeve to be, with a little room for welding fill.
Yeah.
So with that, Nathan, I'd recommend getting some shoes, but you like wearing sandals, whatever. I will recommend at least putting on some safety squints, because safety third. Nathan, have at it.
Sawzall. I think I got it.
That's all the way through.
You can do the next side.
Your arms are jiggly?
Like,
all right.
yeah.
Boom. Get closer with your tip.
Yeah.
You should be able to see through your lens, but
Still kind of dark and like very hazy.
all right. Well,
Maybe if I
wipe it off,
clean it,
maybe.
it'll be a little bit better.
We need to get you a new welding goggle with your school funds.
Yeah. Since we can.
Yep.
Yeah, that would explain it. It's super duper dusty. It's actually a lot different.
Awesome. You get it now that you can see.
Yeah. I can.
Seeing is a big difference to welding. Want me to spin it over?
Here, 1 second. Yeah. Now spin it over.
All right, hold up. Start from the top and work your way down. That way gravity works with you.
It's hard with that piece there.
Well, then change your angle. Slow it down a little bit. And that's the sound you're looking for.
Wow, that's
there
like
we go. That's see.
golden. Right where you see it too.
Yep.
Thankfully.
All right, flipping the leaves over. Let's check our length from here to here. And there we go. Now we can see our divot is lined up with our trailing arm on that side. So we'll spin these guys back around, put those in there to protect our threads, and keep our blocks in place. And Nathan will weld this side up. That's why we practice, buddy.
Yep.
Got some good old beads in there.
Took a little bit to get used to it, but
Nice.
yeah.
Now that we've got this entire thing welded in place, I'm going to go through and put all of our set screws back in the holes for safekeeping, and then we'll put our top adjuster blocks in place as well.
Yeah.
Sound like a good plan?
Sure.
All right, and let's spin the beam of that away. Pull the arm out this way, and guess what?
Saw, saw.
We get to do the saw, 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 la, la, la. That's, those leaves are still kind of warm. So with this one done, we're gonna do the exact same thing on this top side, right? All right, stay tuned. Well, Nathan, now if you only started like that down here, they would all look the same.
Yeah. But it looks good enough.
Looks very good,
I mean,
buddy.
flip it to the front where I did some amazing results.
And with that, we now have a 6-inch wider ball joint beam. Next step is going to be pulling apart the entire front end of the Baja bug to swap out to this beam. But we'll cover that in a later video. In the meantime, I'm Sam.
And I'm Nate.
Thank you guys for watching. And life's full of good people.
If you can't find one,
Be one. Later, guys.